South Beloit's second chance. The city's fire department prepares to reclaim life-saving services from the town of Beloit.
WYFR's Nathaniel Langley learns what's behind the handoff happening months ahead of schedule.
Sydney, Mike. Chief Brian Kuntz's first month leading SB Fire featured the return of ambulance services, and by the end, possibly a formal conclusion to the town of Beloit's management. Change is in the air for South Beloit's fire department.
A lot of transition, but we have a strong team.
The station builds its staff to retake firefighting services from the town of Beloit, Wisconsin.
Nothing's better than being able to work in the area that you live.
Deputy Chief Nick Miller started working out of South Beloit 13 years ago.
You're connected with everything in the area, and so you really get to make an impact.
Miller expects a more efficient operation at the department,
especially with the new chief.
The city and the stakeholders, as far as the community, they wanted their fire department back.
The town of Beloit began managing SB's department in May 2024.
The most important thing is the communication side of it.
Chief Brian Kuntz reclaimed South Beloit's ambulance 2 weeks after taking his new position.
Once we get through April 1st, our plan is to take the engine.
We're talking a 1-month span where you come on the job. What do you credit for bringing South Beloit back so fast?
Everybody working together. It's been a team.
How do you make sure that what happened to South Beloit a year or 2 years ago doesn't happen again?
That's not going to happen again. We're going to make sure that, we keep our personnel.
The chief sets a goal of 4 crew members to fill the station by May.
And so we'll see improved response times for sure for South Beloit, and then be able to handle more of our own calls without having to rely on mutual aid.
South Beloit signed a contract with Metro Paramedic Services for staffing its department. Kuntz calls the partnership seamless for his operation.
The town of Beloit's agreement with South Beloit ends October 1st. In March, the town and city of Beloit began considering a consolidation between their fire departments.